What history being made? First woman pro tag final. Foi o primeiro do mundo? Caralho, da hora, velho. Ó.
Well, it is Megan on the quad for Kunoichi, evading first and starting round by the mountain. Now she sets as Ruby tries to chase her down, but a nice move over the sisters. Ruby goes underneath. Space around the front line, and Megan's able to waste a bit of time there and set off around the loading bay. And under the mountain this time around, but Ruby is getting closer. She is getting closer, but that pace from Megan gets the first point in the final.
Mas a menina é muito ruim, velho.
Yeah, Ruby just kind of followed behind her the entire time. You want to make sure you control the center.
Muito dura. Eu lembro dessa aí, essa é boa pra caralho. Eu lembro dessa aí. A gente já viu, ela é boa,
The quad down in Atlanta. She knows how this quad works and she makes use of it. There's so much about strategic knowledge, right, and exploiting all this scaffolding to your advantage.
She definitely didn't hesitate going around the cube, and I think that's what did it for her. She knew exactly where Megan was going.
Now, Dara starting on the sisters. She did this in the semi-finals and it managed to work. But it does not work this time around because Jess gets her under the mountain.
It's hard when you do that same strange start twice because people really look at those things, especially when they're different than what's really happening, and kind of take note of that.
Aí, a loirinha é boa. Lembra daquele, é boa aí.
Caitlin into the action. The score 1-0 Kunoichi. Just looking to double that score.
Mas essa de rosinha é boa essa ali. Eu lembrei dessa menina.
Spins around by the ridge, but there's a dive through low. It does not make contact. And Jess can live to fight another few seconds. And she's going to make that same run across the quad, and Caitlin's not going to get there. And she's not even there to make the dive through the ridge this time. She can go through the loading bay, but she's not there quick enough. And Jess does double the lead. Kunoichi 2, Victoria's Secret 0.
Yeah, I think if she would have just committed a little bit harder to that dive, she would have had it. She just slowed down just the smallest bit before going through the ridge, and that's what cost her that tag.
Entregou aí, entregou. Ah, essa que é a loirinha. É essa loirinha.
Towards the chaser, but now decides that running away is a better option. Now she cuts across through the quad. Over that open space, but Brittany's not there to take advantage. And it's around the front line and to the ridge. If this turns into a race across the quad, and it does, and there's a dive, but they're losing their footing, and Jess might get up and still get the point here. Because Brittany, the dive cannot have been far away. There's applause from my co-commentators. What a chase.
It's so difficult to regain your footing in this short amount of time.
It's also hard because when you're evading for a second time, double evasions, you're exhausted, so your footing gets a little bit more challenging to keep.
Eu lembro da Dark também. Mano, a Kunoichi é muito foda, mano.
It is back-to-back evasions for Jess Chan. Could she get the hat-trick in the final? A historic final at that. Dara is looking to hunt her down, and she does do very, very well. You can tell all that quad time that she has down in Atlanta, it makes it so, it's like playing in your own back garden.
Yeah, looking at the sisters, her feet were so sure. She knew exactly where she was going and she didn't hesitate.
Na desvantagem azul, acho que vai pra perder, né?
Secret remaining 3-0 Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Kunoichi tá 3-0, velho.
Well, Dara is determined to make this sister start work. She has mixed it up by going all the way across the court and built up speed, but now she stops and goes back the other way. But Amy, the Australian representative, gets the tag.
Amy definitely waited for exactly the right time to get the lazy boy. She waited for her body to turn just the slightest bit. And Amy knew exactly where she was going and jumped at that chance.
Amy did pick up a couple of evasions in the semi-finals. Can she add to that tally here in the final as Caitlin gets sent round the wrong way, the lazy boy, but she's into the tilted cube and in the end can't figure out how to get through. And Amy's off again. Under the ridge, over to the front line, she decides to make a dash for it, and she doesn't quite get tagged by Caitlin. There must have been fractions
4-0, cara.
And Amy definitely knew where her chaser was that whole time.
Well, Amy has picked up points Jess has picked up points.
Meu Deus, esse time azul, cara.
Kunoichi are running away with this, and Amy is running away from Johanna, but not running away quickly enough as she makes the tag and brings this run to an end. It is still 4-0 Kunoichi though.
It's really valuable, even if you don't get the tag. If you run your opponent the entire time, they're tired, so the likelihood of getting a double evasion goes down.
Dá ainda pra empatar, tem que ganhar 4. Isso daí tem que ganhar, mano, uns 3 pra garantir.
London in the UK in this very international flavored team, Kunoichi's. Johanna standing on top of the mountain and then hops over to the other side as Sana threatens to come and join her there. She comes through the tilted cube but can't make the tag, and Johanna is off around that front line in the open space. She did not keep her eye on Sana though, and then just saw her grabbing at her knees.
Tadinha, mano.
It was great that she went up on the mountain because people don't necessarily expect that. So when she was up on the mountain, it kind of threw Sana off a little bit, but Sana regained her footing.
That's point. Kunoichi.
GG, acabou.
Kunoichi match point, and Sana Iwao can seal it. If she evades here, it will be a 5-0 Victoria's Secret.
O time do Rosa tá muito forte, mano. 4-0, vai ser o primeiro time a ganhar na história. Estados Unidos.
Close enough, she goes through those bars by the ridge, but Sana has already left the premises. And over the sisters, and that will do it. Sana Iwao picks up another evasion. It is a 5-0 demolition. Goes Kunoichi, the worthy champions. How important has this tournament been for the whole of Chase Tag, but specifically for the girls who want to play it and are playing it now?
It's always about representation. The more that you see women playing sports, the more that you see that there's an opportunity for you as well.
Round of applause to our 20.
Mas tem que agradecer a primeira, a japonesinha, não sei, a asiática. Mano, ela amassou, mano. Ela ganhou 3 pontos. Qual é o nome dela? Jess-chan. Mano, caralho, ela amassou muito, velho.
Opportunity for you as well.
Round of applause to our 2022 World Champion.
Muito ágil a menina, velho. Ela é baixinha, mano.
Wow! Feels so amazing, guys. We worked so hard for this, and just being out here is amazing. Woo!
Da hora. Da hora, confia, rapaziada. Pior que o parkour é mó legal de ver, mano. É mó legal, eu curto ver os parkourzinhos, velho.